When Charles was very young, in fact a toddler, he walked very early actually, and we thought that was wonderful. He would isolate himself, and the play leaders were a bit concerned about that. And he was our only child, and we only had time for him, and we had nothing to compare him with, older parents. He had tremendous focus for the things that are self-driven, and that's classic.
Like everything I'd gone through in my childhood, which I'd gone through my father almost passing away at one point, and it sort of seemed like if I can do this, I can make my parents proud. This is what my childhood's been leading up to. I was just like, cause I did have troubles in my childhood. I have a learning disability, which was that was probably my biggest issue overcoming that. I've dyspraxia and ADD, which at that point was still, it was hard what they were doing because it was all very precise and mathematical how they went around doing it. You had to go see this doctor every month and so on.
What it was the study?
Yeah, well, it was basically looking at the condition, looking at how it improved or not developed, sort of it reacted to as I got older and got taller and bigger and so on. Yeah, and that was a fun sort of thing because I was medicating on a drug called Ritalin, which is not fun. It's it's what's an amphetamine for one, so it gives you energy, but it also stops you from eating. At which point when I was younger, I gained a lot of weight. Got bullied a lot because of that, but oh well. Moving on, overcame that. Eventually stopped it, and yeah, when I found a direction I wanted to go in, I felt I didn't need it anymore.
Highland School seemed to offer what Charles needed. They had a very, very good media department, and he was, when he went for his interview there, they wanted to put him on the baccalaureate because he had enough points. I was very proud of Charles then because he had the common sense to realise that that was not the course for him, and that he'd made up his mind what he wanted to do, and there are not many children actually at that time who really know what they want to do. And so he went on the media studies course, did very well, and moved on to Middlesex.
One of these things, it was like the first thing that actually happened that was serious in my eyes, and it was like, it was there, and I can still remember my dad on his birthday sitting there coming out of theatre and just being covered in tubes, and I just broke down crying. Like, cause I couldn't, I was just like, I can't do this. I generally thought I was just like, I don't know what to do. Like, I had so much work on as well with uni, and I was just stressed. And I was supposed to go and see my dad that day, and I went, and they wouldn't let me see him, which literally had me outside the hospital crying because I couldn't see my dad, and I was so worried. And it was one of those things. In essence, it was making something out of nothing. I shouldn't have been upset at that because I could have seen it the next day, but I was there, and I'd gone and I wanted to see my dad, but they wouldn't let me see him because I couldn't. They were doing some thing, and it was, yeah. And during that time, it was one of the things like, I've got to find a way to do both. I've got to study, and I've got to make my dad proud. That was my goal. I was like, if it goes the way it seemed it was going, and it looked like he was going to die because he had the transplant, and he just kept getting infection and infection and infection and infection, and then the kidney wasn't working. It wasn't reacting because it was his sister's kidney that she donated, and it was it's one of the things. It just looked like it had all gone.
But he went into hospital one time, had an operation on his leg, came out on crutches and went straight back into Covent Garden for the show at night. That's dedication.
But that's the same as what I did with my appendicitis.
Yes.
The week that I couldn't actually get out of bed, the week I went in, I got sent home the next day because I caught the flu.
Yeah.
No, but that when you're that dedicated, you enjoy every minute of what you do.
It's not work.
It is entertainment.